All parties in the matter of Lewis versus Tully, step forward.
Christina Lewis is suing her daughter's former friend, 19-year-old Irene Tully, for money she loaned her while on vacation in Hawaii.
How old are you, Miss Tully?
19.
Do you work or go to school?
Both.
Where do you go to school?
Mesa Community College.
Full-time?
Part-time.
And what kind of work do you do?
I work at Starbucks.
Do you live at home or you have?
At home, yes.
And Miss Lewis, you have a daughter, and your daughter and Miss Tully were friends.
Yes, ma'am.
And they had been friends for a long time.
Couple of years.
And she had accompanied you on family vacations before?
Yes, ma'am.
How many times?
This would have been the 4th, so 3 prior to this trip.
And she always paid for her own airfare?
When we flew, correct. Minus one time. I did pay for it one time.
When did you pay for that?
I believe it was a trip to New York.
From where?
Chandler, Arizona. But we fly out of Phoenix Sky
So
Harbor.
it was a long flight.
Yes, ma'am.
Where else did you go with Miss Tully?
California, Your Honor, twice. And then
When you went to California, where did you stay?
Huntington Beach at a condo that I rented.
She paid her own airfare?
There was no airfare. We drove. And I did pay for the gas.
Yes, you have other children other than this daughter?
I do. I have a son.
And did he accompany you on the trip?
He did.
Ever have any difficulty with her before? With expense money, anything else that would have given you cause to pause about inviting
No.
her again?
No.
Okay. This case is about a trip that you all took, a family trip that you took to Hawaii, and Miss Tully was invited to go along. The arrangement was, according to you, that she would take care of her own airfare, which she did, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you book the tickets?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
And you paid for the tickets on your credit card?
Yes, Your Honor.
And she gave you money in cash to cover her ticket?
Yes. Her mother and father did.
You rented a hotel while you were in Hawaii?
Condominium?
A condo. How many bedrooms?
1.
And where did Miss Tully and your daughter sleep?
On the pull-out couch.
So they slept together. So she
Yes.
didn't have her own room, so she...
As well as another friend.
So there was no additional expense
Correct.
with that. And food, how was that covered?
She was supposed to cover her own food.
Okay. And you brought money with you?
Yes, Your Honor.
How much money did you bring?
About $300.
How long were you going to be away for?
I believe it was 7 days, but we got stuck for an extra day, I believe.
Got stuck because of air?
Yeah, there was something with the weather flying out of Los Angeles, so we couldn't fly out from Hawaii to Los Angeles to get home.
Is that correct?
No, Your Honor. The trip was a 10-day trip. The 22nd through the 1st, and we did get stuck for 2 extra days, about a day and a half, so it became an 11-and-a-half-day trip.
Now, this lawsuit is all about the fact that your daughter and Miss Tully had a fight, an argument. It's falling out. When did you have that argument?
I believe it was in September.
September of last year.
Yes, Your Honor.
And when was the trip to Hawaii? In what month?
June.
When did it end?
July.
What was the argument about?
I did not want to be friends with
Why?
her daughter anymore.
Why?
Because I did not like the way that I was treated around them.
Like what? What do you mean?
There were just comments that were constantly made about the way that I lived my life and my family and the money that my mother earned, and I just did not want to be a part of it anymore.
And you told, what's Miss Lewis's daughter's name?
Bree.
Where did you have this discussion with her that you didn't want to be friends anymore?
I did not have a discussion with her. I unfollowed her on a social media.
That must have been after something happened, Miss Tully.
I just decided that I didn't want to be friends with her. She went away to college and I stayed home for college. We didn't have any contact. We didn't talk.
What happened after you came back from Hawaii?
We talked maybe once or twice because I went out of town with my grandparents and stayed with them for about 3 or 4 weeks and then returned home for school.
During that 3 or 4 week period, did either Miss Lewis or Bree contact you about any money that you owed?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.